All right, y'all, I'm doing this off the top, like, because I'm talking about 5 seconds ago. I just saw this exclusive clip that Mashable put out just showing Moiraine channeling the one power through the Sakarnen. Let me tell y'all, I was gonna give y'all another Wheel of Time video today. Y'all gonna have to get that tomorrow or something, because like this clip, I know it's only 1 minute and 46 seconds long, but like, oh my gosh, I'm getting my life. All right, y'all, so y'all already know that we made it through episode 4 of season 3. It was a beautiful, amazing episode. Really, and it was fun. But we also got the preview for episode 5, right? Like they always do every week. And during the preview, I saw like Moiraine obviously holding the Sakarnen or whatever. And to me, it looked for a millisecond like she was struggling with it, right? Like just for a millisecond. And keep in mind, this is just the trailers for episode 5. So when this exclusive clip dropped of Moiraine channeling, I was like, oh yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, we start out this clip with Moiraine gracefully picking up the Sakarnen, right? And I just love the way Moiraine, oh my gosh, Rosamund Pykes performs the channeling. She just gets it. She just completely understands it. I don't know how else to say it, but that, like, anytime I see her about to get into it, about to perform the channeling, it just seems to me so much like what the book, wants you to feel, wants you to see when someone's channeling. I think Rosamund really gets it, right? So here she's giving this immaculate performance, right? Because, like, you can tell in the beginning, like, she's struggling with the Sakarnen, And, of course, it makes sense because this is the most powerful Sangreal for women, right? And you compare it to Kalendor for men, right? So, Moiraine is like, her wig is getting rocked a little bit, like it's moving left to the side. Her wig turned around completely backwards, but then she turned it right side up. She turned her wig back together. And then she said, all right, I'm going to center myself and try to, like, channel this stuff, right? And so, like, you get to see the vast scale of, oh my gosh, this shot, we saw this shot in the trailer. I was like, what's going on here? And I was like, that's Moiraine. Like, that gotta be my sister. That gotta be my sis Moiraine. Just beautiful, beautiful shots. But with this clip, we get to see the absolute, just apocalyptic scale of the Sakarnen. And the thing is that, like, no shade, this is just Moiraine, like, channeling some stuff into it to see what it does and see how it make her feel. This ain't her, like, really, really trying to do something. We did see Latris die in last episode using this Sakarnen, using this Sangreal. But I would like for y'all to notice, like, how neat and contained and precise Latris Sedai's weaves are compared to some of the weaves and stuff that we see in, like, quote unquote modern day, present day in Wheel of Time. Like, Latris Sedai's weaves were precise. Do you hear what I'm saying? They were succinct, girl. They were tight. But, like, everyone in this era kind of weaves in it's very rare you see weaves that precise, unless in this era, in my opinion, like, just from what I've seen on the show, unless you're looking at a Forsaken or something. But, like, obviously Age of Legends, they were doing stuff with the one power. They were more precise with it, could fly around, crazy stuff, right? So I just love that we get to see the absolute scale of Sakarnen. And, like, it seemed like she about to tear up the whole desert. Like, her face is just, watching her go through the emotions of, like, oh my gosh, this is the one power, like, this is the pattern, like, you know what I'm saying to you? I love when we get into that stuff. Like, the end of, season 1, when Miss Mama's at Faldara was just losing her mind, like, she got burnt out, and I need that. It was amazing. So I love seeing it. The scale up, she was about to tear up the entire desert, like I said, pulling up the whole desert. She was, like, her arms was flinging back and forth, trying to control it. I just love this look of absolute focus on her face, trying to harness it in, right? So here then she's like, all right, she thinks she got it under control. She thinks she has it. But the more she holds on, the more she channels, the more I'm like, her arms are going hot, her fingers, her facial expression, it looked like she was in absolute torment towards the end of it, at least, right? So I'm watching the scene like, oh my gosh, don't burn out, Moiraine, as if I'm not going through the books, right? Like, as if I don't know what happened. what's happening. At least during this part, I haven't finished the entirety of the series yet, but like during this part, I kind of know what's going on. So like, like she ain't finna burn out right now. But like, I was like, oh my gosh, that's obviously how powerful the Sakarnen is. Like, I don't even think she was really tapping into the true tea like that for real. So yeah, she's literally about to burn out. It seemed like she was getting close to it, or like she was really struggling with this. Then Lan came and kind of like saved her a little bit, as usual. And so, what is that? He says, what is that, Moiraine? That's what he asks. And then Moiraine was just like, well, let's ask the audience. What did it feel like to you? She asked. And keep in mind, like, she is like laid out in Lan's arms. The Sakarnen done took every piece of strength out of her for now. So like she's laying out, she's like, what did it feel like to you? And during this time, I had actually thought that Lan was catching her because we saw this in the preview, or the preview for the season. So, or at least we saw her collapse in Lan's arm without the Sakarnen. So I thought that she was waking up from Meridian or something happened, but obviously it's Sakarnen. So, when she asks him what it feels like, he said euphoric. And obviously he was able to feel some of that stuff through the water bond, of course. But then he doesn't just leave it at euphoric. When prompted further, he says the Sakarnen also felt like hunger and thirst, like the use of it, felt like hunger and thirst, but deeper. So something even more inherent, instinctual than hunger and thirst, urging you to reach out to this, through this Sakarnen, to the one power that is now magnified by how many fold. And so like something deep within you craves it, and yet it's going to burn you out. If you're not careful, it's going to burn you out. And so this got me so excited for the next episode, especially because when I've seen certain things in the previews and the trailers for the upcoming episode and the previews for season 3 in general, I was putting certain things together because this shot where she was standing up there and she was bringing down the light of the world. I was like, yeah, girl, that's Moiraine. So to see it in this exclusive clip is really a lot of fun. Also, it puts into perspective why Lanfear wants it, if we believe her, if we think that she's not lying about removing her dark oaths. But we can now put into perspective why Lanfear would want something like this. Obviously we know, but to see it in action after Latris had died, it's just so much fun. And imagine someone as powerful as Lanfear with that, armed with that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So yeah, the link to the Mashable article with the exclusive clip that I'm talking about is in my description. Make sure you check it out. Let me know what you think. Love y'all so much, and I'll check y'all out later. Peace. Make sure that you're going to www.zaraxia.com. When you join the waitlist there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that this upcoming book, this sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zaraxia, Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing fantasy and stuff. So just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zaraxia, Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zaraxia, the Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zaraxia.com, sign up, join the waitlist, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.